life, daily life, is often seen as an obstacle between me and my awakened life. So is that true? And what is the take of the Yogini tradition on this? Well, the wisdom of the Yoginīs, this oral tradition originating in North India, is that daily life can be something else. And this is what Utpaladeva, a great mystic, yogi and philosopher from 10th century Kashmir, says in his verses dedicated to Shiva, to God, and inspired by the Yogini tradition. He says, "May I always understand the matters of daily life as inseparable from you, the goddess, the God, but never as worthy of interest in themselves. May I always see the matters of daily life as inseparable from you, but never as worthy of interest in themselves." This is a prayer. And a cry of love uttered by the poet Utpaladeva, who was a yogi from Kashmir and a disciple of the Yoginīs, those feminine beings of wisdom in his heart. And perhaps it is also our prayer, the prayer of those who live among bills, unread messages, and gestures repeated 1,000 times, like scrolling down a phone, and so on and so forth. And yet, who have not given up on mystery. For even in dust swept from the floor, in a tired body, in a moment of tension or an embrace, something or someone calls from within. Something or someone whispers, "I am here. I am is here in all of this." Or rather, here, this is all within me. So this suggests that we should ask, is daily life a dance or a prison? Well, for the Yoginīs, there is no separation between the ordinary and the sacred. But they make one demand: never confuse the container with the content. Daily life is the content, as big as it seems. It is nothing but the content. It is contained by the real stage, the real ultimate stage, which is the space, the living space, conscious space that is aware, thinking, feeling, touching, suffering, desiring. That is the goddess. According to the Yoginīs, their oral teaching, this is exactly what we feel when we hug someone, when we take someone in our arms, or when we are taken, embraced by someone. But the problem is that we confuse the container and the content, and we give priority only to the content, as if the world was the container, as if the world, the daily matters, were the most important. This is a problem of priority, of hierarchy. Hierarchy does not mean oppressive order. Basically, it means to be rooted in the sacred, to give most importance to what is most important. First things first. And what is first? First is life. And what is life? Is life this or that? No. Life is the feeling deep within, as vast as the sky, that I am. That source of my person, of my personalities, that thrives, that is vibrating deep inside me. Deep, but right here, not far away. Daily life is there. But what burns within us, infinite, wakes us up. It is the presence, the goddess, the yogini, that looks through our eyes, breathes through our breath, loves through our skin. The path of the goddess, the Kālī krama, rejects nothing and no one, not even the trivial. She swallows, she embraces, but she projects out again. So the key is a matter of vision, of angle, and of body. When I wash dishes, close a door, look at my reflection in a mirror, do I believe that those dishes, this door, this face exists in and of itself? Or do I see, do I appreciate that each gesture is a point of contact with the Absolute? Because every wave in this ocean is from the sea. And if that sounds too abstract, come back to the body. To the body immersed in space. For the body is the big in-between the inside and the outside, in between the infinite and the finite. The body is the altar. Emotions are incense burning. Sensations, perceptions, the five senses are the lamps. On the path of the Yoginīs, we do not seek to flee the world, but to see through it. To perceive in each moment a transparency. The world is nothing by itself, but it is everything when recognized as you. It depends entirely on consciousness, and the first manifestation of consciousness is this body. But that is not all. Utpaladeva says, to understand the matters of daily life as inseparable from you. This also means do not reject the individual, your person. No permanent dissolution into an impersonal whole. Not just the river disappearing in the ocean, but rather an intensification of presence through a transformation of your body, of your sensitivity. You know that the state of your body decides the feeling, the flavor, the colors of your world. Here's the same. It's a matter of transforming, not suppressing. Of course, there are moments already in natural life of disappearance, of resorption, dissolution, when I go to sleep and when I am absent from the scene. But the Yoginīs do say, I remain myself, I do reappear. But when I give myself consciously, fully to those moments, those natural moments of void, emptiness, resorption, silence, nothingness, then the goddess, the source presence, recreates me, projects me again, but with a self, a body self, in love, transparent, immersed, soaked in the nectar of I am, of love. The I becomes a flame that you concretely feel burning in your chest. No longer an obstacle, but a vehicle of embodiment and gratitude. The path of the goddess is the path of the individual who burns without being consumed, who evolves into full personality in service of something greater. So the body is here shown as the cremation ground, as the resurrection place. In the rituals of the Yoginī tradition, the Kālī, everything happens in the body, not an idealized body, a body made of beliefs, but this body with its sweat, its wounds, its pleasures. This is the cremation ground where you die and you take rebirth. It is within this flesh that everything is offered to the goddess. It is here that we learn to taste everything without clinging to anything. Even love becomes a tantric practice, a yogini practice, a yoga practice, not just a compensation or a discharge of tensions, but an art of presence where each shiver, each sigh becomes a mantra, a prayer. Here lies the paradox. Everything is sacred, but nothing is important. The things of the world shine, but it's only a reflection. They stand only in the light of awareness. So, to live in the world is not to be lost in it, but rather to let the world be lost in me, in I am. To love the world is not to be attached to it. This is what Utpaladeva says. Inseparable from you, but never worthy of interest in themselves. The world is not to be rejected. It is to be crossed, or rather digested, with lucidity of an awakened heart. So the Yogini tradition is an invitation to participate in that dance of creating and resolving, taking back and again creating, and thus evolving and being transformed or being born anew. So you who are watching this video, let this verse not just be understood, let it be embodied. Let each act of your day become a song. Let your body become an offering. Let your individuality become the playground of the goddess, of the yogini. For the world is a theater, and you are the actor and the spectator both, and the light that reveals it all. Thank you.